Hello everyone and welcome to my video. Today we will be talking about 3 companies I currently find quite interesting that are in the gold and silver niche. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. And we will be starting with Majestic Gold Corp. It's from 2024. It's currently producing, by the way. Their reserves are 872,000 gold ounces with a reserve of 2.5 million ounces of gold. It's in China. Some risks though if America and China actually went toe to toe. But it is a current profitable company that's in China in Shandong province, according to their website. And the grade is between 0.5 and 1.7 grams per ton. The president is someone called Stephen Kingwood, who's a professional geoscientist with over 28 years of experience in Canada, United States, Panama, Mexico, Peru, Chile, and China. They have 0 warrants, 0 options outstanding. They have 1.04 billion shares outstanding, which is, it's not great, but I found it to be interesting. It's currently got over $100 million in cash position, and it seems to be interesting currently. So without further ado, I think we'll just go over to the next one. Sierra Silver and Gold. They fully commercially produced starting in January 2025. It's in Mexico, and they have a fully permitted mine at 500 tons per day mill in Mexico's silver belt. And they have an indicated resource of 18 million ounces of silver at 146 grams per ton, and inferred at 14.9 million ounces of silver at 113 grams per ton. And it seems very interesting currently. I think it's gone down a little bit, the price, and I think it seems very interesting the fact that they are already producing. And the resource isn't the greatest, but apparently the cost of sale of per ounce of silver was $22.40 per silver equivalent. That's not too bad. So that was one of them, and it's fully diluted. It has 167 million shares. They have 44 million of their shares are owned by First Majestic, which is a massive silver company. 12.9% is institutional owned, and 24% is owned by management or founders. That's pretty nice. Seems very interesting. So let's go over to the third and final one. Will be Southern Silver Exploration Corp. Let's just first talk about management, which is as the president and director, it's Lawrence Page, which has done worked in several major projects and mine involved in Mexico and in Canada. And the VP, vice president, is Rob McDonald, which is in Mexico and New Mexico area, so in America and Mexico. And it seems to have roughly 43 million ounces of silver. They have initial capex of $388 million. They have a low sustaining capex at $160 million. What else? Pre-tax net present value is at $888 million USD, and after-tax IRR is at 21%. Which, bear in mind, it's at the current silver price. So if silver increases, then this company might be interesting. And apparently produce between 4 and 12 million ounces per year. So this has been the companies I find currently interesting at this current moment. Obviously, do your own due diligence and be aware that the mining sector is very volatile. But I found these to be interesting. I tried to showcase some newer companies on this channel rather than just mentioning. I'm not going to name names, obviously, but I've seen a lot of channels that just name the same companies over and over again. Almost like they have a hidden agenda. Anyway, I have not been invested in these companies personally. So I just mentioned these because I found them to be interesting when I went looking. Rival Gold. It's not started producing gold ounces yet, but according to the PEA, they have a $1,363 per ounce in ASIC and a 10-year mine life and $208 million in capex. And also, it seems to be they have a between 1.8 and 5 million ounces in resources combined throughout the projects. And it seemed very interesting, And let's see what they have with the CEO is a mining executive and engineer, which is very nice, who was formerly with Kinross. Very interesting. And what else? 19% of the shares are owned by high net worth individuals, 48% of the shares are owned by institutional and corporate companies, and 15% is owned owned by management, and only 18% is owned by retail, which is very interesting. It seems like a lot of people now are interested in this company. And, so they can potentially produce 160,000 ounces per year, if they get going, obviously. But hopefully, it's in America, it's in Idaho and Utah. So I hope this has been interesting. Bear in mind that this is not a producing company, but perhaps in the future. Hope you found this video entertaining and useful. Take care. Peace.